Let's take a journey into the mysterious depths of human history, where we will uncover puzzling enigmas that have baffled smart folks for ages. These 10 captivating tales are like unsolved riddles, reminding us of the fascinating complexity of our past. Welcome back to Epic Explorer, guys. Get ready for some serious intrigue and timeless allure of 10 unsolved historic mysteries. Number 1. The Lost Civilization of Atlantis. Let's dive into the ancient tale of Atlantis, a lost civilization that has intrigued people for generations. According to the Greek philosopher Plato, Atlantis was a super advanced kingdom beyond the Pillars of Hercules, possibly bigger than Asia and Libya put together. But where did it vanish to? Some think it was a real place, maybe even the island of Santorini, destroyed by a massive volcano. Others believe it's just a story Plato made up to teach a lesson. Despite its prosperity, Atlantis supposedly sank into the ocean in a single day, leaving no trace behind. Many explorers and scientists have tried to find it, but its existence remains a mystery. Atlantis is more like a legend than a proven fact, but that doesn't stop us from being fascinated by it. The mystery of Atlantis still grabs our attention and sparks debates worldwide. Number 2. The Secrets of Stonehenge. Let's uncover the secrets of Stonehenge, one of the world's most famous ancient sites. This prehistoric monument in England has puzzled experts for ages. Even though it's super famous, we still don't know everything about it. Stonehenge was built around 5,000 years ago, with massive standing stones arranged in a circle. Some of these stones were brought from far away in Wales, weighing as much as 4 elephants. How did they move these huge rocks with just basic tools? It's a big mystery. But that's not all. Stonehenge is also like a giant calendar. The stones line up perfectly, with the sun during the solstices, suggesting the builders knew a lot about the stars. Some people think it was a special place for worshipping the sun. Despite lots of digging and studying, we still don't know much about the people who built Stonehenge. They didn't leave behind any written records, so we have to rely on what we find buried in the ground. Stonehenge keeps its secrets well, but with every new discovery, we get closer to unlocking its ancient mysteries. Number 3. The Mystery of the Great Pyramids of Egypt. Let's delve into the mystery of the Great Pyramids of Egypt, some of the most awe-inspiring structures from ancient times. These monumental wonders, especially the 3 Great Pyramids of Giza, have stood tall for thousands of years, keeping their secrets hidden. The biggest of them all, the Great Pyramid of Khufu, towers over the Giza Plateau, reaching an impressive height of around 481 feet, built around 2560 BC. It held the title of the tallest man-made structure for over 3,800 years. But how did the ancient Egyptians manage to construct such colossal marvels with such precision? It's a question that still puzzles historians, archaeologists, and engineers to this day. There are lots of theories, from using massive labor forces and complex systems of ramps and levers to even wilder ideas like alien help. Despite all the guessing, the exact methods they used remain a mystery, showcasing the incredible engineering skills of the ancient Egyptians. But the mysteries don't end there. The purpose and meaning behind the pyramids spark even more speculation. Some say they were grand tombs for pharaohs, meant to carry their souls into the afterlife. Others believe they were statements of the pharaohs, divine power and prestige visible for all to see. The alignments of the pyramids with the stars add another layer of intrigue. For example, the 3 pyramids mirror the alignment of the stars in Orion's belt, linked to the Egyptian god Osiris, ruler of the afterlife. It's a level of precision that suggests the ancient Egyptians had advanced knowledge and skills beyond what we might expect from their time. And here's the kicker: the pyramids aren't just silent tombs, they hold a complex network of chambers and corridors. Recent investigations using high-tech techniques have even hinted at the possibility of hidden chambers within the Great Pyramid of Khufu, fueling our curiosity even more. Number 4. The Voich Manuscript. But that's not all. The manuscript also has patterns. that look similar to real languages. Certain characters pop up more often, just like in natural languages, and the length of words seems to follow a pattern too. Yet, despite all these clues, nobody has been able to figure out what it says. The origins of the Voich Manuscript are just as mysterious. It's been dated back to the 15th century, but who wrote it and why are still big questions. Some think it was created by medieval alchemists or secret societies, while others believe it could be the work of famous figures like Roger Bacon, a philosopher from the 13th century, but without more evidence, it's all just speculation. The Voich Manuscript has sparked endless debates and controversies. Some think it holds valuable secrets or knowledge, while others argue that it's just a clever trick to fool people. It's like a real-life treasure hunt, with scholars and code breakers trying to unlock its secrets for generations to come. Number 5. The construction and purpose of Teotihuacan. Let's journey into the ancient city of Teotihuacan, often called the City of the Gods. This bustling metropolis, located northeast of present-day Mexico City, was a real marvel of its time. Around 450 AD, it was home to an estimated 150,000 people, making it one of the biggest cities in the world back then. Despite all the digging and studying archaeologists have done, Teotihuacan still holds many secrets. We know it was built with incredible skill and precision. The city's streets were laid out in a neat pattern, and its grandest buildings, like the Pyramid of the Sun and the Pyramid of the Moon, were built to align with the stars. But how they managed to build such massive structures with such accuracy is still a mystery. Teotihuacan was more than just a city. It was a hub of life and culture. People lived in big, shared compounds with courtyards, where they cooked, worked, and lived together. The walls of these compounds were adorned with colorful murals showing scenes from daily life and stories from their beliefs. But who were the people who built Teotihuacan? That's a question that still puzzles historians. They didn't leave behind many written records, so we're not sure exactly who they were or where they came from. It seems like the city was a melting pot of different cultures and languages, with people from all over living side by side. And what was Teotihuacan's purpose? Some think it was just a bustling city full of trade and politics. Others believe it was a place of great religious importance, with temples and murals dedicated to a whole host of gods. The city's main avenue might have even been seen as a pathway to the afterlife. Teotihuacan is like a riddle wrapped in a mystery. The more we uncover, the more questions we have. But that's what makes it so fascinating. It's a glimpse into a world we're still trying to understand. A city that holds its secrets close even after all these years. Before we move on to interesting part of our video, please subscribe our channel for more epic stuff. Number 6. The myth and truth behind the Bermuda Triangle. Let's set sail into the mysterious waters of the Bermuda Triangle. This infamous stretch of ocean, spanning an area roughly the size of 500,000 square miles between Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, has puzzled people for decades. Known as the Devil's Triangle, it's a place where ships and planes have disappeared without a trace, sparking all sorts of wild theories about aliens, ghosts, and ancient civilizations. But what's the real story behind the Bermuda Triangle? Well, it all started gaining attention back in the 1950s, when some high-profile disappearances made headlines. One of the most famous was Flight 19, a group of U.S. Navy planes that vanished during a training mission in 1945. Despite extensive searches, no wreckage was ever found, and they're not the only ones. There's also the SS Marine Sulphur Queen, a tanker that vanished in 1963, and the USS Cyclops, a Navy ship lost in 1918 with all hands on deck. But skeptics say there might be more down-to-earth explanations for these vanishings. The Bermuda Triangle is known for its wild weather and tricky currents, thanks to the powerful Gulf Stream that flows through it. Plus, the ocean floor is full of deep trenches, making it easy for ships and planes to disappear without a trace if they sink too deep. And as for those theories about giant gas bubbles swallowing ships whole, Well, there's no solid evidence to back that up. So, what's the truth about the Bermuda Triangle? Well, that's still a mystery, waiting to be solved. Maybe it's just a combination of bad luck, bad weather, and bad navigation. Or maybe there really is something spooky going on out there in the deep blue sea. Either way, the Bermuda Triangle will keep us guessing for years to come. Number 7. The unsolved puzzle of the Antikythera mechanism. Let's dive deep into the fascinating mystery of the Antikythera mechanism. Back in 1901, amidst the wreckage of an ancient Roman ship at the bottom of the Aegean Sea, archaeologists discovered something truly mind-boggling: the Antikythera mechanism. This remarkable Greek invention, often hailed as the world's first analog computer, has left experts scratching their heads for over a century. So, what exactly is the Antikythera mechanism? Well, it's like a super advanced clock made of bronze tucked away inside a wooden case. Imagine opening it up and finding a maze of gears and tiny inscriptions all over. On the front, there's a dial showing the stars and planets, while the back has these cool spiral dials for tracking the moon and sun. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. The Antikythera mechanism wasn't just a fancy ornament. It was a high-tech gadget used to predict all sorts of celestial events, like eclipses and the positions of planets. It even had a dial for keeping track of the Olympic Games. But here's the twist. This thing was built way before anyone thought such intricate machinery was possible. We're talking about a level of engineering that wouldn't be seen again until the 18th century. Its existence challenges everything. We thought we knew about ancient technology, pushing the boundaries of what we believed people were capable of back then. Despite over a century of research and the help of modern tools like 3D modeling and X-ray analysis, the Antikythera mechanism still keeps its secrets locked away. We're left wondering who built it, how did they do it, and what was it really used for. It's a mystery that continues to baffle and inspire generations of researchers, reminding us of the incredible ingenuity of our ancient ancestors. Number 8. The disappearance of the Mayan civilization. Let's unravel the intriguing tale of the vanishing Mayan civilization. The ancient Maya were like the rock stars of their time, with their mind-blowing achievements in building, math, and stargazing. They had this super cool calendar, wrote in funky symbols, and built towering pyramids that could make your jaw drop. They were basically the ultimate trendsetters of Mesoamerica. But here's where things get mysterious. When the Spanish dudes rocked up in the 16th century, they found many of the Mayan cities abandoned and swallowed up by the jungle. What happened to these once bustling hubs of civilization? It's a question that's kept archaeologists and history buffs scratching their heads for ages. So, here's the lowdown. The Maya weren't just one big happy family. They were more like a bunch of city-states, each doing their own thing. Picture each city as a mini-kingdom, ruled by a boss king, making friends and enemies with neighboring cities. The Mayan civilization hit its peak during what we call the Classic period, from about 250 AD to 900 AD. This was when they built those epic cities like Tikal and Copan with their Instagram-worthy pyramids and fancy stone carvings. But then, things took a turn. Some say it was all-out war between the city-states, causing chaos and making life tough for everyone. And with more and more people popping up, there just wasn't enough to go around. Kind of like when you've got too many guests and not enough pizza. Add in some serious deforestation and soil erosion and you've got a recipe for disaster. But hold up, the Mayans didn't vanish into thin air. While the big shot cities of the Classic period were left to the jungle, others up north, like Chichen Itza and Uxmal, kept the party going for a few more centuries. And get this, millions of Mayan descendants still live in the region today, keeping the vibe alive with their traditions, languages, and culture. So, even though the big cities might have hit the pause button, the Mayan spirit is still alive and kicking. Number 9. The unexplained Nazca lines. Let's take a trip to Peru and dive into the fascinating mystery of the Nazca lines. You're standing on a vast, dusty plateau, and below you, stretching out for miles, are these incredible ancient designs etched into the earth. It's like a giant, ancient coloring book made by some long-lost civilization. These lines, created by the Nazca people between 500 BC and AD 500, cover an area the size of almost 450 soccer fields. And get this, they're not just random squiggles, they're intricate shapes, from simple geometric patterns to detailed drawings of animals, plants, and even some out-of-this-world creatures. Now here's where it gets really juicy. Despite centuries of brainpower trying to crack the code, we still have no clue why they made these lines or how they did it. It's like the ultimate unsolved mystery of ancient graffiti. One idea is that these lines were like a giant calendar, tracking the movements of the sun and marking special days like solstices and equinoxes. Imagine using the earth as your own personal planner. Pretty cool, right? But wait, there's more. Some folks think these lines were more than just doodles. They were sacred paths used for important ceremonies, like supersized catwalks for religious rituals. Others reckon they were offerings to the gods, like saying, "Hey big guy in the sky, check out our cool drawings." Now, here's the kicker. How did they make these ginormous doodles without Google Earth or fancy tools? Some experts think they used simple stuff like sticks and ropes, sort of like making a giant scale version of those patterns you make with string. But hey, that's just one theory. Nobody's got the definitive answer yet. So there you have it, the Nazca lines, a mind-bending puzzle that's been baffling brains for centuries. They're like the ultimate ancient art project, leaving us scratching our heads and marveling at the creativity of our ancestors. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll crack the code and unlock their secrets, but until then, they'll remain the coolest doodles in the desert. Number 10. The indecipherable Phaistos disk. Let's delve into the intriguing mystery of the Phaistos disk, an ancient puzzle that's been baffling brains for over a century. It's 1908, and archaeologists unearthed this strange circular clay object from the ruins of the Minoan palace of Phaistos in Greece. But here's the kicker, it's covered on both sides with this mysterious spiral of weird symbols that nobody can make heads or tails of. Now, fast forward to today, and we're still scratching our heads over this thing. Despite all our brain power, we still don't know how old it is, where it came from, or what it's trying to tell us. It's like the ultimate archaeological brain teaser. What makes the Phaistos disk even more mind-boggling is how it was made. It's not like any other ancient artifact. Instead of being carved or painted, it's stamped with these funky symbols. And speaking of symbols, they are kind of look like another ancient writing system called Linear A, but nobody's sure if they are related or if the Phaistos disk is just doing its own thing. Now here's where it gets really wild. People have come up with all sorts of ideas about what this disk could be for. Some say it's a prayer wheel, others think it's a calendar, or maybe even a musical score. Heck, some folks reckon it's a board game or a secret message from an ancient club. But here's the kicker. Nobody can agree because we found the disk all by its lonesome in a room with basically zero clues about what it's supposed to do. So there you have it, the Phaistos disk, a mind-bending mystery that's been keeping archaeologists up at night for over a century. It's like the ultimate riddle from the ancient world, leaving us scratching our heads and dreaming up wild theories about what it could mean. Maybe one day we'll crack the code and unlock its secrets, but until then, it's gonna stay the coolest, weirdest coaster in history. Thanks for watching. Please comment below how you found this information. Please don't forget to subscribe for more epic informative stuff.